Tip, welcome to the Granite Zero podcast. Thank you very much for your time. Welcome.
Cheers, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I'm aware it's only like 3:30 and I've got a whiskey, but that's fine. That's just how I roll on the podcast.
I was going to say, I quite like it actually. Good
It's
on
got,
you. Yeah, I mean,
it's
it's
got to be
Friday,
done.
start of the weekend.
Exactly, exactly. First things first, though, congratulations on the movie. It must be a very busy time for you at the minute.
It is. It is. It's good. It's a positively busy, isn't it? So we're rolling well with it.
Yeah, I first came across it. It must have been around last year. I saw like a little maybe like a teaser trailer or a poster or something that was on social media, and I was like, "What is this?" And it looks fucking epic.
I I like your words for it. They no, when you said when you seen the teaser trailer when we created the first thing we done when the guys got in touch and the sort of people that I came across before when we were serving and it was the older right mate with got an idea. We know you're an actor now, and we just think of doing something about the lads. And that was it. The hook was in with me. I'm like, oh, I'm an actor
Yeah, yeah.
now. But when it comes to doing something about our people and about the challenges, I was like, oh, I'm in. And then we created a short, and this was just a gang of friends getting together down in Pompey, down in Portsmouth, and we threw together a small like a narrative or a trailer,
Hmm.
but it was a pre-trailer so we could crowdfund. And even at this stage, I didn't fully understand the magic that the lads had. So we done the trailer, and it was a matter of everyone just getting in there, going, oh, I'm out so and so, gang of friends. Straight away, we bonded, almost immediately, and we created in 20 hours. We just raced around Portsmouth to different places, and we filmed a little bit, and that was it. The lads, and then that was when the magic just erupted. I think from the guys from Dan and James, and Sammy was there at the time as well. And when they the magic they put into what they'd done in post, and their talent for digital media just exploded. So we sent that out for a crowdfunder, and it went pretty viral. Like we raised quite
Yeah,
a
yeah.
decent bit of money. Uh, to be able to get the ball rolling, but it was down to that. It was the trailer. And like you said, it just catches your eye straight away.
It
And I,
definitely, it
I've got
definitely
friends
did.
all around the world, and they were just going, "Not just seen your trailer. It's magic." I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
that was like after just 20 hours of work. So that's where it started.
that's amazing, especially the fact that you just said it took
Go on,
20
mate.
hours of work, and it just shows the level of competency that the guys that you got in that movie to get it done, even just for that teaser trailer, that looked like a movie in itself. Because when I saw that, I was like, I can't wait for this movie to come out. I actually haven't watched it yet. I'm not going to tell a lie. I have bought it. It's on my fucking phone, ready to go. So that is on tonight for me. I'll be watching that. I watched the proper trailer of it this afternoon before I sent the link to this about 18 times to the agent. But I was like, it just looks very well made. I know that sounds like the easiest thing to say, but it genuinely looks very professional. And and
Mate, everything you say is bang on.
and there's one thing that you may be the same, and I know a lot of veterans and servicemen are the same when it comes to action movies and especially military action movies. And you're like, well, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. He's done that drill wrong. He hasn't reloaded correctly. He hasn't done this properly. And I was watching just the brief bits in the trailer itself, and I was like, yes, that you can tell that you guys are fucking blokes that have done it before. Very similar to the Terminal List with Jack Carr, and you could tell that Jack Carr was involved in exact everything that was going on, and it's a force to be reckoned with when you have proper advisors and proper guys that know exactly what they're fucking doing. Because you will get the likes of myself and all the other veterans that have seen the clips, so they'll be like, spot on, love this, loads of time for it. So massive congratulations already. Blowing smoke up
No,
your
I mean,
ass is what I'm
with
doing.
everything you said there, like, no, 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 mate. Wait until you see the other one. But believe me, I've had loads of friends and acquaintances I've known that they came up with, oh, I've seen you in that fucking trailer, and you, you didn't have this when you were using your pistol. And I'm just like, ah, fuck off. I'm going to stand by for loads. And the guys, again, who the guys running the show were such were former Marines as well. And they give the old, no, 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 but we've got it's got to join on. We've got to do this, got to do that. I'm going, yep, tickety boo. So we could take the hits from when we were sort
Yeah,
of
yeah.
self-critiquing. But with that as well, that as an actor, that wasn't the challenge for me. The challenge, the set pieces, the military scenes, the working with weapons and that, and the action, all of our team have lived it. So challenge for me as an actor was the emotional side of
Mm.
my character and the other characters, and that was the wonderful challenge because it was brilliant, but it was so important to us all because it was about our people and about our people that are,
Yeah, yeah,
suffering, taking their own lives, and struggling with them getting themselves back into society as well.
definitely. So what was the
And he goes again. I'm
yeah.
quite jealous now.
So where was the transition from being a Royal Marine to wanting to become an actor? Where did that come from?
Um, I'd done nearly 30 years regular in the Corps. And I was, at this stage, I went from the rank of Marine up to, I was a captain and I was in 4-2 Commando at the time. And I was sitting in front of a computer screen and I love the Corps. The Corps is incredible. It's given me so much life and adventure and everything. It was everything that I got from it was what, maybe people, you know, think that the Corps is about. I did all that stuff. And then realizing in front of a computer screen with my reading glasses on, like, because I'm sort of slightly more mature gent. And I thought, Jesus, I didn't join up for this. I can do it, and I love the Corps, but I honestly in that 30 years, and people that know me, I spent most of that time doing the stuff that we wanted to do.
Yeah,
So when
yeah,
it came to uh, a certain point, I was like, I go, I've got to do something else. And then I realized that there's something else for us. And you'll know this. Every veteran will know this one. Everything's about the dits, about the stories, about,
yeah.
you must admit, even when you're in the field or in some, far off land or whatever, there's always a storyteller. And it's always, and when you come back, every single sort of veteran will have a story about,
Mm,
and they're able to tell it and communicate it and bring it to life. And I thought that's what I love. And that's one of, the things that I want to carry on with was the storytelling. So I went off to university to go, right, I'm going to go and study and be a storyteller. I'm going to do creative writing. And I nipped up to university in Plymouth and I said, looked at creative writing. But within the creative writing, there was, which is like, the creative or artistic department, there was a degree for acting with the actor's wheel. And then I sort of mapped across and I thought about my life as a Royal Marine and I thought, that's the way we tell stories.
yeah, yeah,
It's us, it's our person, our being. We become characters, we do things. Exactly what you do in service. And even the terminology, like, say you're always measured on your performance as whatever sort of like, service you're in. But everything, especially came to the ops, was about rehearsal, rehearsal, rehearsal. And you
yeah, yeah.
rehearse things so finite. Doesn't matter because no plan survives contact. You're gonna go and do something else and improv and do something else.
Mm,
But also, you're working in theater of operations, you're in theater. So everything in that to me was the creative part of storytelling. That was the reality. And then we get into the dramatic and sort of like the theater world where you play out those stories. And that's the big difference. That's the reality and the harshness. But
mm.
now you've got the storytelling, which we've all got that ability and capability of doing as veterans. But now I'm going to go, right, this is what I'm going to do now. And I'm going to stand up and do it. And I started training as an actor, but the first thing I had done was, as part of it was after advice from people I really care about, went, I think you should join the reserves, and do the seamless transfer. And, so I went
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the Royal Marines Reserve and said, look, I'm coming the end of my time. I'm looking at it, but would you have a place for me, in the reserves? And they were like, yeah, we'll have you. And that was a really wise move, I think, because that transition gone straight into, auditioning and gone straight into actor training, with a completely, different generation of young people who were incredible. But I was an old git, wasn't I? So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
I get what
different,
you're saying.
but
Yeah.
I needed the reserves so I could step into the world and just slowly break away and still do the adventures I had in the Royal Marines. But then, bring me back into the new career I was doing, and also back into society. And I think that was a
Mm.
really good thing. So done that, done my actor training, passed out to say I graduated in
Passed out, yeah.
2018, and things were on a roll. I was doing a national shoot, passed out, so graduated, done a national tour, on a national tour with a play. Things were going well. Performed in Canada and Toronto in a play, and then COVID happened, and that was a bit like I think for the creative arts was like a creative kneecapping. So like, life's going to change. So I managed to get a few jobs during that, few COVID jobs as well. Actually, being the COVID bastardo on Masters of the Air, which is a big Apple production, and I and from there I've just carried on. So that was a tough sort of phase, but I'm carrying on. It isn't as the big one as well. I don't get the fame and fortune thing. I get storytelling. So
Yeah, I love that.
I've got a few projects on the go at the minute, which I want to tell it, and it's, what I mean. It isn't stuff of fame and fortune.
Mm.
It's all about the day. It's all about the story.
Yeah, yeah. And exactly what you said at
I
the
could
start
waffle on
there.
all night, mate.
No, no, I love it. No, genuinely, I love it. And the ability to tell stories and the ability to, as you said, spit dits and talk is something that not a lot of veterans realize that they've got that ability. One thing that I've always noticed, I come from a military background myself with my old man. My old man did 22 years as a parachute jump instructor, and I always say when he's in the pub, he'll
Yeah.
hold court, and and people will like literally will listen to him for hours talking about stories about jumping out of fucking
Hmm.
planes and helicopters and what have
When
you.
when was your dad a parachute jump instructor?
He would
So
have been
when was your
from
old man at PGI then?
so he was 1972 to 91, I think. Or maybe yeah, he
Well,
came out in 91.
I done my I probably do know Max because
You might do,
I done
yeah.
my para course in '88.
Quite possibly. He was
Yeah,
attached to. I'm from Hereford originally. He was attached to 22 as their
yeah.
jump instructor. Um, so yeah, even when he was from the camp, there's some of the stories that he tells and things, and some of the blokes that he knows, and it's like I used to sit
Mm,
there for hours as a kid, just massive eyes going, please tell me more, please tell me more, and yeah,
yeah. It's what you
it's a,
did.
it's an art form, and just you saying that, I haven't even realised that I've started to do something similar with the podcast world. I started the podcast to help with my mental health because I was struggling,
Exactly.
I was suffering. Um, as much as I did write a book, it's not great. I'm not going to plug that at all. It wasn't great. As much as I would like to write it all down, I'm super,
You've
I'm
done it
super,
though.
I'm
You've
super
done it. No,
dyslexic,
but I
so
think you've done it. That's
I
the
did do it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But I struggle to then get my thoughts onto paper properly. And what can I do? I know what I can do. As much as I'm actually a natural introvert, once I get going, I can fucking talk for hours and tell stories. I tell stories about tour. I tell stories about things from back home. And it's just a natural thing. Like you would sit around a hexy block telling stories about whatever.
That's it. Pull up a sandbag. Yeah,
Yeah, it's spot
yeah.
on. And so, yeah,
Yeah, that
massive
is
props to
it.
you.
Yeah, that is it. And that's the wonder. And yeah,
And because there was a number of you, wasn't there, within the film itself that were all ex or former Marines. I prefer to say former. Former's better than ex. Ex sounds like you got kicked out.
yeah. We're big believers in. Yeah, yeah. No, it's all former, but the main sort of crux of the former are that not. I mean, there's a full spectrum. We've got a really good cast and crew, and it's not only the former Royal Marines, but there's a lot of former veterans, serving veterans, or serving sort of personnel from all corners of the armed forces,
Oh, nice.
and volunteers that helped it were from all that spectrum. But we've also got layers of creatives from like have never been in the military, never been associated with the military, involved with both as, in cast and in support and crew, and they brought an incredible mix to it. But it was really that good, and I think they benefited massively with that fusion in working with military people as well. And that's it's like a massive big. Well, it wasn't a massive bag. We're talking a very very small little gang of cast and crew, and I'd say they were just a bag of miscreants that pulled it out of the bag. You know what I mean? As simple as that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, I think it's a brilliant thing that you guys have done. And I did notice on, was it Thursday? You had a pre-screening, didn't you? And the money was going to Rock to Recovery, who is actually a cause that my charity football team support as well. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, fucking spot on, because I think they do brilliant work as well. And seeing a big thing like a big movie coming out supporting a well, not so much now because it's quite getting quite a big cause now, but a relatively unknown cause in especially with what they do and how they help veterans and servicemen and women. So massive props for you guys to get in the Rock to Recovery lot involved as well. That was brilliant. So hats off to you guys again for that.
We got them involved. The pre-show was actually the premiere at Leicester Square in London. So it was quite a big sort of pre-screen. It was the premiere, and Rock the Recovery for all the gang has been quite important, and not only for me, for a lot of my friends as well. And I've supported Rock the Recovery since it began.
Mm.
And in fact, I'm out yomping on the moors very shortly with them, which I love doing
Oh,
anyway.
nice. Yeah,
And
love that.
yeah, it's too important. So we've done that, and I think we will that'll be ongoing the support that I'll provide for Rock the Recovery, but hopefully the guys in the production company will still continually support them as well.
Yeah, so it's always good to give back as well, and remember to well to get yeah to give back, especially to those that need it. You know, as you all know as well, with being part of the Marines and myself with the organisation I was with, the mighty RAF Reg. Yeah, boy. We it there's a lot there's a lot of us veterans that do struggle, and I believe within the movie itself, you see the protagonist yourself struggling a little bit with different aspects of what's going on within the character's life and what have you. I'm not going to give too much away, so you guys got to fucking go out and watch it and buy it yourselves. But yeah, it's very poignant, should I say, with what's going on, especially with veterans.
I thought, but I wouldn't even say no. You said though that it was it's some of the points. It really that is the to me that's the mainstay of the whole film is that challenge and the struggles for mental health that he's having, but also it shows across the board in society that people are having to deal with those struggles day in day out. Andy, the one I play, is a broken man, and very similar to myself. The length of service, maybe the activity he got up to, and then he's just it's because again it's not happened to all of us, but some of
Hmm.
us have really
Yeah, yeah.
struggled to overcome these things, and you understand that, Tom, as well.
Hmm.
And that's again that isn't it isn't a that is the underlying theme right throughout it. And I'd say the most important theme about the whole project was for us to table that and talk about it in an action thriller sense. So we've got the height of professionalism, and maybe but there's also that mental health thing where the boundaries have been pushed on the morality front, what's right, what level of violence, everything's all it's all playing with mental health, and that's the underlying uh blood running through the veins of the actual like film.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Oh yeah, I'm really excited about watching it. I can't. I'm like, yeah, gotta watch it, gotta watch it. I've been waiting for it for since, as I said, since
You
that teaser. I was like,
yeah.
give it to me, give it to me now. I need something that's good. But it's one of those that you could potentially do well, maybe not exactly the same, but a very similar type British Forces style spin-off series type thing. I'm as in just throwing fucking balls in the air, bit like the Terminal List itself, but a fucking British version, because the Americans get all the good shit, and it's about time we had some good British action that is spot on, not like some of the pants that I've seen come out of certain big companies.
It can't, guys, like, but I'm in the industry, and it's not. It's one of those. It's all, like I said at the start. It's about the date. It's about the story,
Hmm.
and as well, like like you said earlier on, we're all storytellers. You look at any single avenue. What people get attracted to, I think, in the arts, and what I'm attracted to is human beings. And we've got this gang of wonderful human beings that go full across the spectrum of life, and they're in the armed forces. And I'd say more so than being, geographically parts of, our islands. It's one of those you get this because you always get a mismatch, whatever in RAF regiment, anything. You always get people from all corners of that and in that mismatch and the mode and the stories that created in that environment are human stories as well, but they're incredible. And that's where we tap into. So that gives you the sort of we say the originality rather than sort of mimicking maybe a UK or a
Yeah,
Brit
yeah.
version of
No, I
something
get you. I
else.
get
You know
you
what I
with
mean?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
more of an original take on life within and then leaving the forces, because that's a massive thing that a lot of people don't understand. Is, as you said, you did 30 plus years. I did a mere 5.5 years, but even those 5.5 years, I really struggled to leave the military behind. And I to this day I still semi struggle. I'm lucky I've got a number of lads that live around the corner from me from my own regiment, so we can go to the pub and we can spit dits, as you say. Or I get veterans on the podcast quite regularly because it's an easy conversation to get into. Is, well, service and that, but definitely the whole leaving it. And I think you did a very bold thing in leaving to pursue what you did, but you did an amazing thing as well by going into the reserves, because
Yeah.
you've still got that. I'm still I've still got a little bit. I'm still there.
I
Where,
still need it. I still
yeah,
needed
yeah,
it a bit. And like you say, you don't. But with you, it's the years that you spend. No, like you say, oh, I've only done 5.5 years.
that's a
But those
habit of
five and
me
a half
saying
years
that.
are no. But with that, it's it's not irrelevant at all because a lot of people in the service, especially nowadays, that's what they do. They'll do like that
Mm,
just over the 3 years, 4.5, 5 years, 6 years, and they don't stay in for the pension tap. The pension's not what it used to be, so people don't want to really stay in.
mm,
They've got to think of other careers. But those 5.5 years generally are in your formative years. They're when you're just coming from being young, dumb, and full of cum, and then you start becoming the proper grown-up person you are.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, I'm like, I've not properly grown up, even as I speak, because I'm an actor, aren't I? I play at things, but
yeah.
those years, and you must admit, the years that'll stay with you for the rest of your life. And for me, of those formative years. So my first years
Oh,
in
of
the
course.
Corps, my friends that I met then are the friends that wherever. But I mean, I've worked all around different places in the Corps, and they're all small adventures, and they're all part of forming who you are. But the most important formative time are those late teens, early 20s, and that sets you up. So even if you do like 3 or 4 years, you are going to struggle out of it because that's been, it's an important part of any young
Yeah,
person's life.
it's like as you said there, it's a big thing, and it's a big part of the growth from being, as you said, young, dumb, and full of cum, into a young adult, into a man, inverted commas, because we're just fucking big kids, really. Um, and
Mm.
for me, there was a lot that I wanted to do, um, but due to family commitments and things like that, and basically, I was stopped doing a lot of things that I wanted to do, because I was good at one thing. I got pigeonholed into that. You're doing that. I was good at comms, basically, so I was a comms guy. You're doing the comms, Tomo. Well done, mate. Brilliant. Can I go into the air wing and maybe become a JTAC? Oh, no, no, you stick with Bowman. You stay there. You stay in that pigeonhole. And I got frustrated. And then obviously a frustrated soldier gunner is gonna do something wild, and that happened to be the 7 clicks for me. But in my head, I was like,
Yeah.
I've still got stuff that I should have done, and I wanted to do. I wanted to be a lifer. That's what I wanted to do. But things change, and that's where a lot of my mental health issues stemmed from, was the loss of identity. And as we just said there, that massive chunk, whether it's 5.5 years, 10 years, 18 years, a lot of people don't realize that when you join up, you get broken down and rebuilt. So you are a new person when you come at the end of your basic training. You're not the same person as the 18-year-old that started, or the 20-year-old that started. Completely different person. And then,
No, I would challenge that. You are, and we all are, and I think my conditioning and what I sort of transformed into was brilliant. But it's still that there's just a little vein of you are who you are, and it's that
oh yeah,
rather
I
than
get
being,
you. Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean. You are, I mean. Otherwise, we are. I mean, it's a classic. But
Otherwise,
when I
we're all
was,
robots. No, I see. No, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
There'll still be the
but
hint of,
yeah, and
because we,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
still who I was from Belfast, whatever else. But we coming in. I loved it. I loved being part of what I became of, and that was why I stayed in for so long. But it's just that it's just simple things. It's also that what I like about it is, when you look at a gang of bootnecks or a gang of gunners, like, or if gunners or whatever else, that you look at them, you're going, right, they all look the same. They've all got the same, clothes, this, that, there. But the personalities individually of them, even though they're all conditioned the same way, they're all bonded by the same group. They're so unique. They're so
no, I do
unique, but
get
they're
you.
so human. They're so human. Yeah, because they're so human as well. Because they're all the same. There's a guy that you can't bring him in the pub because he'll start a fight. There's a guy you wouldn't introduce to your sister or your grandmother because he'd try and trap them. There's a guy, and
Yes.
every sort of group of young men that I do, you have that dynamics. I mean,
Yeah,
you got the guy
definitely.
who's the bookworm, who's the intellectual ninja.
Yeah,
You had all those dynamics, which is the same as human society. But when you put them in there, I think it magnifies it because you all look the same. You all got the same uniform. You all got the
yeah,
same
yeah,
mindset in such a way, but the uniqueness just shines through all the time, and that's the
yeah.
storytelling bit as well.
No, I like that. I never really thought of it that way before, and it's amazing how
Yeah,
a different perspective on something will make you go, "Oh yeah, that is right." Because we had
yeah.
Willow was a fucking hand grenade. You couldn't. He would have
Yeah.
two
I know
pints,
you're
and he'd
thinking
be
back to
fucking
your lads
fighting.
now, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He'd have two. I was a bit of a flash to bang as well. Like I was a bit of a nightmare on a
So
night
was
out.
I. So was
I'd
I.
love to fight
Yeah.
and fuck, and that was basically what I was there for. Um,
Yeah.
but it's amazing how you can look at things differently through different lenses, as you say. But yeah, that loss of self, that loss of self was a huge thing. And I think a lot of
Hmm.
servicemen get that, definitely, no matter what cat badge it is.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things I think about all the time, as well as the old, you know, rather than being them and us when you go back into society, and that we have to realize we are Pucker Gen, always being part of society. We're always part of
Mm,
it. And it's that, and it's also the society that all of us have put our lives on the line to protect and support. So that's one thing I always try and remind young Marines that are starting to leave, is that you got to realize it's not them and us. It's getting back into you being such a valuable item after your service. How you positively go in back into that society and make it better,
yeah.
because you've been trained to become a better person. And I think that's a very, very important point that I think a lot of people know. You say young people that when they do their time, or they go, right, I'm going to move on because the grass is definitely greener on the other side. But the
Yeah.
realization, the only way it's going to become greener on the other side is you make it greener. It's not going to be when you land there. Believe me, it looks like initially like a big pile of turd, but then
Yeah.
you've got to get in there and realize that we're all the same. We're all part of society, and you've got to make it better.
Oh, definitely. And that was another massive thing for me, was integrating into society, into a new job, and you're trying to stay switched on, trying to just get the job done as you've been fucking trained to do. It doesn't matter what the job is. You've been told to do a
Yeah,
job. That's your job now. And then you see, inverted commas, civvies that are a bit more lax, they're a bit more laid back, and you're like, well, fucking hell, come on. That you'd be getting the fucking shit kicked out of
yeah,
you on squadron if you were going to act like this. And then you're like, oh, right, take a minute. not institutionalized the same way as what I am. Calm down. And you can sort of see why a lot of veterans can struggle with that side of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
A lot of
challenge.
them
It is a
can't.
challenge.
Yeah, a lot of
It's
them
different.
can't
They
just.
see it as different standards, don't they?
Yeah.
So, but I think that is part of the fusion. If you hold on to your fundamentals or what make gives you that magic, like that sense of purpose, that sense of not
Mm,
duty, a sense of right. And it's isn't it's not a sense of duty. When you go and work a job, you're going, right, I'm paid this money to do this. This is what I do. If you bring that there and do it and do like I was taught always, just give 100%, do it, uh, and finish the job and crack on with it. And if you do that and bring it in there, believe me, I mean, the only thing is just getting, if you get upset with other people that don't have that same
yeah.
mindset, that's probably the struggle. The
That
biggest
that's
struggle is
that's the
just
struggle. Yeah,
step, yeah,
is
step
getting the
back from it and
frustration.
just go, I don't want to be in their headspace. I'll just stick to my guns. But and sometimes, and you've seen it as well, sometimes people forget those positive or what makes them good, you know what I mean? And they
Mm,
then reconform into, maybe they're influenced by these things. But I say if you hold on to your the positives, or the regimented sort of like, should we say, right time, right place, right ring.
yeah, yeah,
What do I need to do? What do I have to achieve? Let's be successful. Let's make it done. Let's do it as a team. Let's crack on with it. And I'm like going, yeah, that's it. That's what it's about. And when you go in these places, they're not. They do not have
nah,
that dynamic, or
yeah,
they may not. But there's a little bit of you. They'll start brushing off, and they're going, "Oh, I like this." And at the end of it, remember, you've got that social aspect. You got the work hard, not play. You don't have to play as hard as you did in the service, but work hard, socialize, get to know
yeah,
people, move on. And then you start seeing how that magic that you've got is not going to rub off. And it makes people, places and society a better place because you a little bit of use with them as well. And a little
yeah.
bit of your
Definitely,
service life
definitely.
and your colleagues from service with them.
It goes from any walk of life. If you're the one that's putting in the effort, unless you're super fucking lazy and you see someone working hard, you're like, well, hang on a minute, he's working hard. He's got if he carries on working like that, it's going to make me look bad. So I better get to his level. That's how my brain would work. I would want to be at his level because he's working hard. I know a lot of other people would be like, hang on, he's working hard. I'm going to go tell someone that he needs to chill out because he's making us all look bad. I've seen those firsthand. Those kind of people. Um,
Yeah, so have I, but I say it. But it
yeah,
doesn't I'm not in their headspace. You know what I mean?
nah,
So
I'm just doing what I'm doing. It's like
yeah,
they're doing wonderful work. Crack on, crack on. One
yeah.
thing I've
My
always
day will
been
pass on a lot more nicely than their day will.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. One thing I've always been intrigued by, and this comes all the way back from watching Extras by Ricky Gervais, because I'm a big fan of Ricky Gervais and that. What's it actually like on set, day to day? So obviously you're not going to be doing kick-ass stuff every minute of every second of every take, and obviously
Ah,
there's going to be a lot of scenes where it's actually quite emotionally draining as well, especially with the
yeah.
storyline.
Yeah, I mean, it was like that in Sunray. With Sunray was good because I'd say we have the least traditional sort of movie making team because we were
Mm.
quite small, quite boutique, and everyone sort of knew each other, and we were able to crack on with it. But there were certain parameters getting into emotional scenes and that. Well, we brought the crew down to minimum. We allowed the actors to sort of like get in the space they had to be to sort of deliver, the integrity of the story. But on bigger sets, it's such a regimented process. It's gobsmacking, considering that what we're doing is creating, doing creative magic.
Mm.
But even from when you get your call sheet's like your daily orders. You get your call
Yeah,
sheet,
yeah. All right.
and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
tells you where you have to be and what time, what scenes you're doing, this, that. It gives you a program for the day. So you've got a call sheet, so that's orders. And then when you get on set, you've got your director. What's your director? Is that your operations officer? You've got the producer. Is the producer the CEO? Is the you know what I mean? So you've got all these
Yeah.
different characters. Then you've got logistics. You've got locations. So you've got all the different functions you get in a military sort of setup is on set, and you get the operators, you get the cast, you get the camera operators, you get it's all there. Honestly, it is to me. Maybe it's just my head, but it's set up very much in a very relaxed military fashion. So you still all the rules and guidelines. So that's why I think for veterans or service people, if they get out and do move into filmmaking, whether it be in front of the camera or behind the camera, there's all their functions and their skills are viable and will be very helpful because they're professional and they keep it. And again, keeping that ethos, that
Yeah,
military ethos, puts them in really good stead. Whether they're like creating scaffolding, creating sets, whether they're doing this, doing that, all those things. They're all military functions. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's pretty gobsmacking.
No, it's good. That's good to know. That's good to know because
Yeah.
I've always been very fascinated with the arts and that sort of thing. I lost a bit of love for it when I was at college. So I did drama and whatnot at school, as most people do. I took it for GCSE, got quite a decent grade. I thought I thought I was quite good at it. Went to college, and then it was. I still remember it to this day. I joke about it with my brother and my missus. They basically said you have to pick your favorite song, and then you have to act it out. And when they gave me that, I just went, oh, I can't fucking do this. I was like, I don't know how. I don't know.
No.
I was like, I don't know what my actual favorite song is. I don't know what that is. I don't know how I'm gonna act that out. I'm not. I don't really want to be all musically. I can't sing, for example. And I was just like, nah, fuck this. I'm gonna stick to PE, which I was good at. So
Yeah, but
I
again, my
gave up
yeah,
basically.
yeah, but thing is, I can see that maybe it's since I've done my actor training, I'm going. I just can't. Got what a laugh! What a laugh! Somebody giving you that
Yeah.
and going, yeah, you just do it.
Mm.
Just have a laugh. And I'm going, yeah, I'd love to do that. Just and I think I probably did do it at some stage in my actor
Yeah,
training.
yeah,
But yeah, it's cracking. Just become. I love that, and that's it. You go the all right, and then maybe it's a bit of the old hang-ups of our bravado, or whatever. Going, I
mm.
can't do that. Why am I doing that? No, we're just going to do sport. I mean, I love that. For me, same as that. When I was at school, it was all sport. I was in Ireland, so it was all Gaelic games. We played Gaelic football, hurling, basketball, football, everything. Sport was everything I done. Maybe that's why I joined the corps.
Mm.
But it's one of those things that I did like drama and it was good. But drama was like it was the easy subject. You
Yeah,
just have
yeah,
to go there and fool around a bit. And it's you know what I mean. And there wasn't much academic sort of attachment to it, as there isn't when it comes to physical sort of like thing.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
good at sport, not or you get your physical alley up. But with drama, it was similar. But then it came down. You had to knuckle down and do the academic stuff, which is
yeah,
what I trained as an actor and I've done the academic as well as the practical side. But I look back now and you think about it, they were the two enjoyable ones. And
mm.
art was as well. Art was good because you didn't really have to work too hard at art. You just have to do art things.
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas, all the other ones were like remembering things, doing this, doing that, doing that. They were they to me were the enjoyable ones.
yeah. No, I definitely get it, and I think it must have been just my rebellious teenage side where I was like, well, nah, fuck
Yeah.
this, I ain't doing it. Because genuinely, at secondary school, I was very good at it. I remember getting one of the top marks in the year for the improvisation piece that we had to do. And I had to
See.
I had to be I still remember it now. I tell my daughters about it. I was like I basically had it was easy for me. I had to be like a gangster type that was selling drugs. Not that I ever did that, but I watched a lot of like Scarface and other sort of gangster movies where I took a lot of that and then made a character and I was allowed to swear. So me being me, I was like, yeah, fuck this, fuck that, fuck
That's
and
the rebel, isn't
yeah, the
it?
rebel in me, and I but to this day, well, it must have been good because I can still remember performing it. Fast forward a little bit further in the year, and the teacher said to me, she was like, "Sean, you need to do we're doing Grease for the school production, and as part of GCSE, you're gonna have to do the performance." And I was like, "Well, I'm not. I'll be part of the production,
Ah,
but I'm not performing. I can't. I'm not a singer. I can't perform in that way. I can't do it." And it must have just been in my head that I was going, I ain't fucking singing in a fucking play, prancing around. Let me be a gangster or something, and I'll do that. But because the original piece, I still remember it. I talked to with my one of my closest mates. The original piece we were supposed to do for our main scripted piece was Blue Remembered Hills, which was about a group of kids that were growing up and I had a specific character, William, and I could perform. I made that character my own. The head of drama was then either retired or was let go. I can't remember. And then the new head of drama came in and was like, "No, we're doing Grease." And I was like, "Hey, it's bog standard Grease. I'm not doing that. I'd rather do something quirky and out of the blue remembered hills." It was about a group of kids during World War II, I'm pretty sure, and they were on an adventure. That's about as much as I can really remember of it, but it was a good story. And I was like, that's a drama story. I was like, Grease has been done over and over and over again, and I ain't singing. I can't sing. But
Yeah, but that
it's a
again, it's that stumble, but you gotta. It's a classic. I'm bootneck on it, actor now, but all of those things, I just love it. I wouldn't consider myself a singer, but I'm just going,
be
what
fair.
what is no, but it's a classic. What will happen to me if I
Yeah.
sound like mega dog shit singing? Absolutely nothing
No,
in the world.
exactly. No,
So I'm just
I'm
that going. I'm
100%
just
with you
going.
on that one
Just
now.
go. Yeah,
100% with you on that one now. Like, go out with the lads now, and there's a karaoke machine. Tommo, you singing
yeah.
karaoke? Yes, I am belting out Oasis to the fucking
There you
to
are.
everywhere.
Yeah,
And even now, I think back and go, why didn't you just do it? What
yeah.
what doors could have opened if you had stuck to that instead of
Yeah,
what you're
but
doing?
that's I mean enjoyment. It is. There's no regrets. It's
It's one
and
of
you're never
those
too
where
late.
I
Remember,
must have,
Sean, you're never too late.
yeah, I must have been it was probably an ego thing as well as these obviously playing rugby sports. The fucking jocks are going to take the piss out of me because I'm fucking singing on stage. I can't do this. But it's one of those where it's like fucking
Yeah, but
what?
that's I mean,
Yeah, it's like it's typical teenage bullshit. Is basically what that is.
yeah.
Definitely, 100%.
But it's one of those things. But nowadays you're gonna, especially with your kids as well. Like I've my kids are all grown up now, but it's the old you 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 just do what you want. Just whatever you do, just give 100% and have a
Yeah,
smile
yeah.
on your face. You know what I mean? If you don't like, don't do it. But if you don't give it a go, you'll never know if you don't like it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
give it a
spot on.
go. You know what I mean?
Spot on. My two. My eldest, she dances. She's quite a good dancer. She really enjoys it. She's trying to get into the guitar. I'm trying to get her some lessons because I was like, these don't work for fucking guitar work. That's not happening. So I was like, well, I'll get you some lessons if you want to really learn it. I'm one of those dads though. If I'm going to get you lessons, you're doing the lessons. There's no quitting fucking straight away because you can't play Wonderwall straight away. You got to stick with it. And my youngest she's a keen football player, but she's very good at art, and she's got very niche artwork that she does now that she starts sticking on the walls. And I go into her bedroom, and every time there's a new piece of art, and I'm like, I don't know where that's come from because it's definitely not me. It is
Good
it
though.
yeah. Are there so some of them? I'm like, how have you done that? That is incredible. And I'm like, no, just keep doing it. Don't let anyone tell you
Mm.
to stop. You keep doing what you're doing. It's because I find a lot of schools these days tend to stifle a bit of art, and which is a shame because some kids are fantastically creative, and it's good to see, definitely. And I'm jealous because I can't do it.
Never say never. Never say
Mm.
never.
Well, yeah, well, you spot on because I never thought I'd be sat recording podcasts with some of the best humans in the world, but somehow I've managed to do it, and I'm a RAF regiment gunner recording from a garage, so it can be done. It's
That's it. Making magic from your garage.
yeah,
That's what it is.
and I'm guessing you've got some more movies and work in the pipeline. We're going to see you on the telly.
No, well, I'd love that. Would love to go. Yeah, I've quite loads on, but no. There's a couple of projects I want to do. I'm working on with for the theater, which is I wanted to about some friends of mine that unfortunately died in a helicopter crash when we were going into Iraq, and
Jesus.
I want to do
Yeah.
a play about them. So I'm working on that at the minute, and
Nice.
just see where it goes, and then just or do auditions. So auditions come in, you get amongst it, you do it, and it's one of those things you have to just throw yourself into these things and do it. Most of the time, I don't get them. It's simple.
Mm.
Don't get them. So it just got to go. Initially, when I started doing it, because life in the service, you're going. If you give 100%, it will happen. It will happen.
Mm.
And there's so much the service, the life. For me, the core. Everyone would try and put you off being or achieving what you wanted, but if you stuck to it, it would happen. What I
Yeah.
find in this industry is you give 100%, you all that work ethos and mindset, get it right, give 100%. You do it, and unfortunately, you're more unsuccessful than successful,
Mm.
and you've got to really build up that rhino skin or rhino
Yeah, yeah.
hide
You got to be.
because you've
I
got
was
that
going to say you got to be
fixation.
really tough skinned for it because there's got to
Yeah,
be a
and
lot of
that's
rejection
that.
because everybody
Oh,
everybody wants to be an
yeah, yeah.
actor.
Well, yeah, but and I don't mind that. It's just that you I had to sort of recondition that skin thickness, and
Mm.
that was now I've got it. I'm happy. So a lot of times when I do auditions, if I'm unsuccessful, I'm like, well, in a way, it's their loss because I think, and it's not being cocky, but I'm quite confident I can deliver quite a good, you know, as an actor and as a storyteller. I think they'll be missing out if they don't have me. But just got to carry on
So is it
and
is
I
it
accept it.
is it movies and theatre that what you want to do, or would you want to be on like a soap or anything like that? That'd be.
No, but to be honest, I like creating stuff myself. So I do like theater work. Theater work's incredible. It's really
Mm.
powerful, and in a lot of respects, that's the actor's sort of like his that's his media or that's
Yeah,
his
yeah.
form really because when you do all your rehearsals, you get your notes from your director and everything else. But once you're on stage, it's you. You could do whatever you want up there, and it doesn't matter. But you own it when you're on stage.
Mm.
And if you cock it up, when you do it the next time, you won't cock it up because that's it. But when you do film work, that's different. It's you still have to act. You still have to give every ounce of being to your character as it is. But the director owns that. Your DOP and your director, but your
Yeah,
director
yeah.
is the one who got reset. Do that one again. Do that again, and you have to get back. Find that that emotional moment or that part of the conversation. Do the reaction, and that's harder. It's harder,
I
but
was
it's
going to say that's
owned.
got to be really hard and draining, especially if it's a very emotional scene and you're
Yeah, but
involved,
that's why it's important. It's
and the
important to have
director
that
goes,
bond.
yeah, and the
Yeah,
director goes, cut. Right, we're gonna have to do
yeah,
that again. You're gonna be like, me.
yeah. But you have to have that
But I
relationship with the director,
suppose
whereas you both work together.
in a way that could also in certain scenes, if you're emotional, but it's like an angry emotion, and
Yeah,
the director could see that as if to say, right, I'm going to cut this a couple of times so that he's working himself up a bit more,
it's all part of it.
and
Yeah,
then
that's the
go,
form. That's the form.
and then you're like, fuck you, I'm gonna
Yeah.
fucking, I've done it 18 times, you
Mhm.
cunt. I've got no tears left. That's got to be difficult.
Yeah, it is. It is. But also when he says cut and it's in the can as such, then you're forever looking at yourself on the screen and you'll never change that. And
Mm.
everyone sees it forever because it's stopped. That's it. That's the only one performance which is recorded, and that's the one that stays. So
Yeah,
in a way, you're not it's not a format you truly own, but you're part of it. You're really part of it. You're fundamental to it. But it's
yeah,
it's two very different disciplines.
yeah, yeah. How much
I
of
love both of them.
yourself?
Both of them are
How much of
incredible.
yourself did you put into the character? Is it basically you on
Uh,
screen?
no, well, no, it's not. It's not. It's far deeper than that. It is far deeper. Again, pathways wise, possibly if we follow very similar paths, me and Andy, but it's there's a certain point where his mental sort of state has he's had something that's happened that has really changed his life forever, really, and that's where it's completely different from me. But the characters themselves, I think, even no matter what character and the full spectrum of life that I play as an actor, there's just so much of it is you're part of it, no matter
Mm.
if it's a different accent or or a different job occupation, different countries, whatever. It's so much of it is you, but you've got to make you fit into the character's shoes. I always find you never
Yeah,
mimic, you just become. So you transform into the character or try and become the character and make them believable or credible. And that's what I see it as. It's not every actor got their own different way of doing it, but that's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
way of
definitely.
doing it. It's just there's always a big chunk, big healthy chunk of Tip Cullen in these actors. Like,
Oh yeah, no, that's good. That's good to see and hear. And it's crazy when you see some of the top masters of the craft that, and they say that they're oh, what's the word? I can't think of the actual phrase, but they immerse themselves into the character where they don't leave the
yeah,
character, and that's got to be, well, that's got to be draining for everyone involved if they stay in character, especially some dark characters, and they say they stay in character. It's like, woo,
yeah.
that's a that's got to be
No, but
difficult.
I think then it's every actor's got their own way of doing it. There
Oh
are
yeah, of
different
course.
sort of styles of acting, like, but I, yeah, I've got my own method, and there's different method acting. Like, that is
That's the
the
word I
method
was
acting,
thinking
but
of. Method acting.
yeah, but for me, I've got my own sort of my method. But that is you've got to be dynamic. So I'm a guy going, right. If I change it, I'll change it. It fits a
Yeah,
different role, it's different director, who you work with, different play, different form of film or theater. Then I'll fold into it and fall in love with the story and the character, even if the character is evil. You have to. There's certain chunks of it you've got to, and this is the scary thing. You've got to sort of like empathize
mm,
with that. So really, if you can't, in some of those characters, there's no way you can live there. You have to step away or break
yeah,
away
yeah,
from them.
yeah. And it's reading and then resonating with the character that you're taking over, and it's what can you bring as that character to give it a face and a performance, which is it's brilliant. I love it. I'm fascinated by it, and I wish I stuck with
No,
it.
but Sean, honestly, see when you watch Sunray, see when you watch Sunray, you dig into. You've got to take off the. It is an action thriller, but you got to take off that. We're looking at like a Brit,
Mm,
whatever terminal list that. Right? Just take it off, have a look at it, and just think about your people, the people you operated with, people you soldier with, people that are in your family, people that who were never been in the military. And if you look at that and just look at the challenges, I don't, and even right, remember when I watch myself on film, it's a bit cringy. You're like,
I
oh
was gonna say, how do you
Jesus,
find that?
it's my honking head up there.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
I
that
don't
is
I don't
hard,
like
but
watching my podcast
no,
back because I'm like, well,
no, it is same. But when we had the premiere on Monday, uh, I sat down and that was the first time I'd seen the film. So at the
mm,
premiere in Leicester Square was the first time I'd seen the film, and I sat there and watched it, and I could really see the depths that the lads and the thought and the
mm,
story and how we played it. So it's one of those, and it's very hard hitting, it's very up tempo on that. But if you just look at it and look at those different thoughts and feelings of the characters and the actors in it, it is really, I'm so proud of it, and I think it does every single one of us. And that's both, veterans, serving military, and our wider society, and everyone that I know who've never even been in the military will get something from this because it is a Pucker Gen human story.
I love that. And Tip, I think that's probably a good way to finish the podcast. I know you got other interviews and whatnot to do, but no, I'm looking forward to watching the whole thing. I've been hooked since I saw the teaser little trailer. Even the fucking posters. I said that already. The posters are fucking brilliant as well. But genuinely, thank you for giving me your time, and hopefully I get you on again, and we can go into more depth into service and life after service and what's coming up in the future.
Roger that. Take care. We've
No,
got a call coming in.
no,
I just
thank you
switch
very
that
much.
off. See you later.
No, cheers, Tip. Thank you very much. You
Bye
be
bye.
careful.
Bye.
Cheers, buddy.
And yourself. See you later. Bye bye.
See you later, mate. Bye. Hello. You're at the adverts, so don't turn off. Don't turn off because I've got some good stuff for you. First up, I'm going to talk about our sponsors. Kent CBD is our first sponsor. Now, CBD oil, as you know, has tremendous benefits, especially within mental health and physical health. Personally, I use it to help with my anxiety and my depression, but not only that, I also use it to help with the aches and pains of life in my joints, especially my ankles and my knees. Um, But yeah, without CBD oil, I would have still been on my antidepressant tablets, which I'm no longer on. So, every cloud. And what we're going to do here at Granite Zero is we're going to give you 10% off everything from oil, muscle rub, jellies, bath salts, the lot. Yeah? Make sure you get in there. www.kentcbd.org. Put in the promo code GRANITE0 and get yourself 10% off. You are welcome. But also, if you're like me and you love a nice cup of coffee. Now, for me, I only drink one coffee, and that's Green Beret coffee. Now, I don't only drink it because it's out of this world fucking coffee, roast to order, grinded to whatever specific grind you want. But not only that, it's veteran owned and veteran run, which, hits me right in the feels. So make sure you check it out, Green Beret coffee. Get yourself a nice cup of coffee. I drink it dark, just like my soul. Incredible stuff, incredible stuff. And what I'm going to give for you, I'm going to give you 10% off. So once you get to the checkout, once you've got all your coffee, your products, your apparel, whatever you need, get to the checkout and put in the promo code GZPodcast10 and get yourself 10% off. Courtesy of the Granite Zero podcast. You are welcome. Now that's enough of me talking about this stuff. Back to the regular scheduled show. Check it out!